Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Welcome to another interview with a local photographer here in Dubai. I've been following his work for a while. We've been meeting up every year that I've come to visit this place. His style is incredibly unique and many of you would probably know who he is. I'm really looking forward to this interview and I think you will learn quite a lot from today. So I hope you enjoy it. And now I will hand it over to Preet. All right, and hello Preet. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name is Preet. I've been a photographer since 2015 and initially I catered to genres like portraiture and focused on commercial and corporate work and even some family portraits. But it was only in 2020 wherein I discovered the artistic side of my photography.
And when it comes to your artistic photography, how would you best describe it?
Well, I generally photograph everyday scenes in subject matter which are quite ordinary, and usually I'm attracted to color and also some things which have a nostalgic feel. Some of my subject matter is actually very ordinary objects, and my color grading process and my composition takes it to another level. So yeah, that's how I would describe my photography as. I love the design element here.
Oh, well, those, yeah.
Yeah, and also the way the light is hitting on the walls.
And what is in particular you like about it? Just the shapes?
Color palette, the shapes of the wall. I mean, the shapes of the design.
Yeah.
And also these blues, these particular hues of blues complement the browns and the blues in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to eliminate these stripes to keep it more minimalistic. So probably I may need to go in closer. But with that, what's happening is I'm losing the detail of the roof. So I may need to go landscape on this. So now with the X Pro 3, I'm
So
going to do
X Pro
this.
3 hack, there we go.
Yeah, I'm just
Upside down X Pro 3 hack.
And now composing the arrow, the triangle, and not the arrow, the triangle and the roof and the shadows.
So as you can see from that example, Preet is always moving around. He doesn't just compose and stay there. As you could see, he's going left, right, up, down, and he's always changing perspectives and compositions. And I think that's very important. So many of us will just see something, and especially if we've been accustomed to using zoom lenses, we'll just zoom in and out and that's it. Whereas he's moving around the entire scene completely. And I think that's a very important lesson to take away, especially, it doesn't matter if he uses primes or zooms, but changing composition and moving around, even a couple of centimeters left or right, can really make a huge difference. So I see you have an X Pro 3. Is that your go-to camera, or do you use any other cameras? What's your go-to gear setup?
Yes, for this kind of photography, X Pro 3 is my go-to. I really love it mainly because of its design and the way it makes me feel while shooting. While I still use two XT3s for my commercial work, and I do have an XT5 also for in case I need that higher resolution for some reason. And in terms of lenses, 18 is my go-to for this work. I actually started with a 27mm. Initially really loved that lens, and but I still wanted something a bit wider. Then I moved to the 23mm, loved that too, but I still was craving for something more wider. Then that's when I tried out the 18, and it was like, this is it. This is my
You knew straight away.
length. Yeah, I knew straight away, like anything wider than this is too wide for me. This also gives me the room to slightly crop if required, and it's perfect for shooting in tighter lanes and spaces too. So yeah, this would be my pick. I hope they come out with a new version of this, but
So-
still keeping it pancakey.
So if anyone from Fujifilm's listening, new version, but pancakey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next question is, living in Dubai, of course, as you know, photography can be a bit of a tricky topic. So how do you get around the legalities of taking photos in the street in Dubai?
Basically, I avoided photographing the human element. If you see most of my pictures, you'll not see any person walking in it or any humans included in it. So that gave me a lot of freedom. You know, I could shoot literally anything and everything. So, and besides that, I generally was drawn towards aesthetic, which has a more nostalgic feel. So, what the subject matter is wearing can affect the whole mood of the picture. So to eliminate all these distractions, I took a call saying that let me just focus on objects and scenes which I really like, and I don't really need a human element in my compositions.
Very good. And have you ever had any problems taking photos in Dubai?
Not really. Probably because I'm not trying to include people in it, but generally speaking, there's no issues as such. I love this.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the red sign
Yeah.
and against the blue sky, and these shops are somewhat like a leading line, and also the shape at the bottom. So specifically the light is beautiful here.
But the main reason we've stopped here, though, is the yellow car. However, what do you think? Do you think the posts get in the way?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to tell you that it's really beautiful except for this post. So now part of one element of my photography which is very critical is I try to find ways to eliminate objects and clutter from my compositions, and try to focus on what my subject really is. So like for now, instead of going probably landscape or taking a vertical shot, I'm forced to go tight because I don't want this in the shot. So we need to move around this way. Yeah, perfect.
So the next question would be a question that I would imagine the average viewer would ask, and that is, how do you make something mundane and something simple look interesting? How do you go about it?
Probably I focus more on simplifying the scene, and I try to isolate my subject. Maybe not isolation through background blur, but isolating by eliminating distracting elements within the scene. That's the first step, and the second step is the composition. Yeah, and I think it all comes together finally in my post-production, wherein I color grade these pictures in a certain way which brings out the best in the subject. Yeah, but post-production does play a significant role in making ordinary subjects look beautiful.
And some people would then ask, and I would ask as well, what's more important, the photo or the edit?
It's a balance of both, I feel. Yeah, you first need to have a picture with probably good light and a subject. It doesn't necessarily need to be interesting to everyone, but at least interesting to yourself firstly, and then whoever resonates with it might find it interesting too. And then I try and compose these objects and scenes in a certain way, wherein when a viewer looks at the picture, they know exactly what my subject is. So So yeah, composition and the subject matter definitely plays a key role. And my subject matter is sometimes very ordinary, sometimes things which have a nostalgic feel.
Yeah.
So probably people connect to these subjects in some way.
So what are you taking pictures of here? What have you spotted? The buses?
Yeah, the buses in line against the yellow buses against the blue sky.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, minimalistic. For me, this works both as a vertical shot and a horizontal.
I have to watch out before he runs me over. It's moving around all over the place. All right, so while we've stopped here to take photos of these buses, let's quickly do another question. And that is, at what point in your photography did you feel like you're starting to make some progress? Was there a particular moment where you thought, okay, I'm starting to get this now?
I in 2020 I kept posting a lot of my work on Instagram, and there was a point when I started getting good positive feedback from photographers who I admire and respect, and that boosted my confidence. And then later I got featured in a few publications, and then also got recognized by some brands. So that was a point I felt that okay, I probably have reached a certain level that wherein I've progressed to some extent.
And the next question is, I'm sure there'll be someone watching this video who looks up to you now and looks up to your photography. And what piece of advice would you give them in order to improve their photography?
Probably two things. One is try to be open to shoot all types of subject matter, because unless you try out different things, you wouldn't know what really resonates with you and what would be your true authentic self. Yeah, so usually we get influenced by what we see on social media and try to take that path. But maybe you're really good at something which you didn't even know. That's what happened to me. You know, in 2020, I just took this up because of the lockdown on during COVID. I started photographing for myself, and I discovered a side of me I didn't know exist. So the same thing I would suggest photographers to try out different things, and I'm sure that you'll connect to something. And the second bit of advice is, if you're really serious about your work and you want to stand out, you need to know a little bit of post-production. That's where you can differentiate among a sea of photographers.
Alright, and now we're in the car heading back. The light's gone, but it's still time for one more question. And that is, in your opinion, where do you see photography going over the next 10 years or so?
Probably with the AI, kicking in, real photography might have more value. But I feel documenting that process and also showing a little bit of behind the scenes will have quite a bit of value, because it might get to a point that the general public may not be able to differentiate with what's AI and what's real photography. So yeah, probably the behind the scenes will have more value, just to authenticate that your photography is real. And I feel there'll be more value for good photos and real photography. I'm talking in the art side of photography and probably street photography. When it comes to portraits and lifestyle work, especially family portraits, children, wedding, it's only going to grow. I don't think AI can influence that.
Alright, and that is all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly enjoyed my time shadowing Preet, watching him move around the scene, recompose, change the perspective. That was very interesting to watch, and I think now looking at my own photography, I could definitely do with moving around a little bit more, but that's for another video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your continued support on these interviews and all the other videos. For now, I don't think there's any more interviews coming for a while. However, there will be a bunch more in about a month or two. But anyway, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye. If you're finding this video useful and you wish to support the channel, then one of the best ways to do so is to check out my Lightroom presets. They're optimized for Fujifilm RAW files, Apple Pro RAW, and they will work with all other RAW formats too. Every photo you've seen from me has been edited to one of these 22 looks as a starting point. There is a Capture One version as well. Finally, these will work both with the desktop and mobile only workflows. For more information, see the links in the description, and thank you for your support.